Well, a very good morning on the last day of May. Yeah, it's the 31st of May already. I can't believe where the time goes, but it does go, particularly when you're busy. Well, even more so if you're lying in your bed all day. But I've got my, the woodman came bang on 8 o'clock, which I was quite chuffed about. It's been up since just about 6:30 actually. And so he made it in time, and it's a lovely morning actually it's just that very calm, almost like you feel like a drizzle in the atmosphere, but it's pleasantly warm to work in. So I'll show you from the other side as well, but I've taken all that from the roadside. It usually takes me between an hour and a half, so I can tell you it took me an hour and 15 minutes exactly this morning. And I'll show you from the other side, as I say, and I'm going to grab a coffee and I'm going to have a cigarette, but this is all going to be stacked up in the square against the wall, and the purpose for that of course is well, you can't get my wheelie bins back and forward otherwise, but more so the packing them up on top of each other ensures that the ones at the lower level remain dry throughout the whole winter. The only trouble sometimes is, wood is very, very scarce at the moment, and the price keeps rising. So I've jumped in early this year to grab hold of it, because I normally get it in September. But I think if I waited to September, I'd probably see an increase of maybe 30 or 40 pounds in this load. The other thing is, if you get any really heavy thunderstorms in July, which is pretty commonplace in this part of Perthshire, it can soak up the wood, and likewise in October, if you get really, really torrential rain for a couple of days or more, that wood can remain sodden, so that's why it's all going to be piled up. And then if there's any forecast of really bad rain, I'll cover it with polythene or something for a few days, just to keep the worst of the moisture off. But yeah, it's a great morning. The garden's been, the plants in the garden are actually singing to me this morning, just like that blackbird in the background. They're so happy. They're absolutely delighted. I mean, I gave them a good old drink of water last night, and I think the manure that I put into the soil back in early spring is, they're delighted they've got this extra feed that they didn't have. But let me not natter on too much just now. Let me go and get my coffee and a cigarette, and I'll sit over there for a moment, have that coffee, and then we'll bash on and get this all stacked up. I'll see you in a second. So I've got my coffee and cigarettes, and there's a good selection of, well, that's birch there, there's a bit of beech. Beech is not the greatest burning material, I have to say. There's plenty of ash. Ash is pretty good in respect that when it's dried out, this is all thoroughly dry, but when ash is dried out, it's got a kind of hollow sound to it, and it's excellent for burning and kindling especially. It chops very easily, and we have a lot of softwood. We've got the hardwood, birch and beech and ash and hardwoods. There's no oak. I notice there's absolutely no oak at all, so I'll get my own oak. This is oak here, which I use as a barrier thing. But I might cut that one up actually. I may have got larch and other softwoods there. But it's a good, decent load, and that should last most of the winter. But what I'll do, just for emergency backup, for late winter, early spring for next year, I'll have a secondary lot that I'll gather myself and store elsewhere. But it'll all be stacked along here, you see. I'll call this one What title shall I put on it? Well, it's coming into festival season, so we'll call it Woodstock Festival. That's what we'll do. Woodstock Festival. Confuse the viewers. I mean, I can't stand Glastonbury. I'm not a fan of Glastonbury at all. I think the last time I watched it was 2004. Mind you, it's not. No, that's not correct, Andy, is it? 2013. Be honest here. 2013, I watched a bit of it, and I'm not really a fan of festivals at all. I can't be bothered with it, and I mean the promoters and stuff. I mean, they never change the venue dates. It's always the same bloody dates, and always the worst part of the weather. I mean, could they not look back on the records and see that every year there's always pissing it rain at that time. Same with that Tea in the Park, which I hated. Absolutely hated Tea in the Park. I never went to it once. I saved myself. I just could not stand that. Even the name annoys me. The last one I think it was they held it just over next to that annoying airfield, which I was talking about recently, and the lights and the music were carried across the valley most of the evening. I mean, I was out for a walk and had a gaze over, and I could see everybody. Well, I could see the lights all dancing around through the rain. It was absolutely pissing down, and I just felt that the whole festival thing had changed. I think back in the late 70s and early 80s, there was like Reading Festival, and even Glastonbury was a totally different setup until all these commercial fuckers got involved, and particularly, well, the BBC started to just everything about it became so clinical, and I just hated it, and people. I don't think they're really there to see the music, hear the music, or see the bands. I think they're there just to try and get their face on fucking television. And flag wavers and paying a lot of money, you can't see the fucking stage because there's something in front of you waving a flag. Sorry about my language. I mean, it's definitely not an age thing. I hated it back in the day, so it's just, it was never my scene, never my cup of tea at all. Trailing around in circles, banging into people you don't want to meet, and just generally not having a good time. Kidding on you having a good time. Kidding on the Monday or Tuesday you had a really fantastic time when, in all honesty, it was completely crap, and you ruined your trainers, and you ended up with a STD or something, and a bad cold. Yeah, I'm not. I mean, even tenants with promoters. I mean, the lager. I mean, it's absolutely disgusting. There should be something done about it. It's awful. In comparison with some of the Bavarian beers that you can get on the continent, and the Belgian beers as well, proper Belgian beers, not UK brewed Stella or anything like that. It's Kronenbourg and Stella and all these, they're all brewed in the UK, and it's a completely different product from what you can get on the continent. I love German beer. In fact, the only beer I'll ever drink is I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was called Fürstenberg. I think they still make it, but Fürstenberg is a fantastic. You can really taste it. That's going to send you, well, a couple of bottles, and you're going to be feeling really quite pleasant. But with tannins, unfortunately, you feel like you've been injected with some chemical. not just tenants, but most of the UK laggers. You end up anaesthetised. I've told you this before. All these people wandering around the festival grounds anaesthetised, and that's just from the beer. So I'm going to crack on, have my coffee, get this loaded up, and this will take me the longest part. It'll probably take more than an hour for me to. Yeah, it'll take a good hour and a half to get everything arranged, because it's got to be done completely like a jigsaw. It can't be any loose parts at all. It's got to be totally compact, and it'll go up for about 5 or 6 feet in height, maybe more. So I'm glad you've enjoyed this little mutter. Hello again. It's high noon. So that's everything done. That's as solid as a Roman built Colosseum. That wouldn't move at all. It'll be a wee home for some insects in the autumn, but that will take me through for a good chunk of the winter. And as I said already, I'll gather some extra stuff. I put some of the oak that I'd freshly cut. It's not properly mature for drying. Another summer and that will be ready to burn without a problem. You don't want to be burning greenwood, you see. So I've got all my kindling and other stuff in there. So that's all done. So that's the job complete, see. Yeah, it's a wee bit of exertion involved, but I just take my time and listen to the Gaelic music. Some fiddles and stuff. So I'm going to continue a wee bit. I'll have a spot of lunch. Got some patty from Portland Mason I want to use up. I'll have that with some rye bread. I'm going to do a further patch, use up the remnants of the wood that I bought just to patch up the roof, and then I'm going to refelt that shed roof. Hello, Mr. Blackbird. Hello. Where is he? That's a great song. Thank you very much. So that's what I'm going to do after my lunch, is patch that up, get some new felt to keep the interior of the shed watertight. I'll try and see if I get more of this stuff, because I got that for a really, well, I'll just tell you, I got this for £2. I like bargains. I always keep my eyes open. If I see something which is useful, maybe not that day, but that's why I keep things which are of use. This is fully waterproof. So the music's been quite enjoyable this morning. It's been perfect conditions as well for working in, I have to say. I wouldn't like doing that in yesterday's heat. I think it reached 26 degrees yesterday actually. They said 24 in Town Drum. But it wasn't just Town Drum. It was quite a stretch. Some of the glens of Scotland get really, really hot in summer. It's just really cold in winter. It's just the way it is. Okay, thanks for listening to me. I'll stop muttering now.